What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders. Before we get this video started, I would like to take the time out to let you guys know that G Riders now has merch. You can go get your shirt, go get a shirt just like this one, black with the white lettering. This one's kind of silvery, but mostly it's white lettering. If you like it and you like my channel and you want to support me, definitely click the link down below and go get yourself some G Riders merch. What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders and welcome to another episode of Testing Rides. Today, I'm going to be testing out the 2021 Toyota 4Runner SR5. Welcome to the 2021 Toyota 4Runner. The fourth generation of the 4Runner is introduced back for the 2010 model year, but this truck has kind of been the same for the last 15 to 20 years or so. So basically, when they introduced this fourth generation, they did some small updates that worked really well with the previous generation 4Runner before this, and added some modern features to make it more competitive for its class at the time in 2010. Here now in 2021. This 4Runner is still basically the same, but Toyota has been sprinkling these little small updates as the generation has went on over the last 10 years to make it still competitive with other vehicles in this class. So one thing you got to know about the 4Runner is like a Jeep Wrangler. So there are people who are in the market for an SUV, and then there are people in the market for a 4Runner, and the 4Runner is kind of its own separate thing from Toyota's lineup, even though it is Toyota, of course, but it's kind of its own separate brand within the Toyota line of cars, or should I say trucks. This is the 2021 Toyota 4Runner, and all Toyota 4Runners come standard with the 4-liter, yes I said 4-liter V6, making 270 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque. Because this is a truck-based SUV, this vehicle does weigh over 4,600 pounds, almost 4,700 pounds. And because this is an old-school truck-based SUV with the 5-speed transmission and 4,600 pounds, this does get a very low 60 in the city and 90 on the highway. But again, if you're worried about gas mileage numbers, you should not be shopping for a 4Runner. 4Runner is its own thing, and it's one of the last few truck-based SUVs that aren't full-size that are still around. So this is the 2021 Toyota 4Runner SR5, and the Toyota 4Runner SR5 starts at about $38,000, and that's for a two-wheel drive version of this vehicle. And honestly, for the type of vehicle that this is, I don't see a point in a two-wheel drive. So this particular one is the four-wheel drive one, so this one starts at about $40,000. So this one also has the premium audio with third row option. So that package is about $2,300 or so. That package comes with a third row seat, which don't see the point in that because it's not that big of an SUV. It also comes with the 8-inch infotainment system that comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all that good stuff, and a little bit upgraded sound system, and also push button start, which is pretty nice. So with that option package, this 4Runner costs about $42,000, and you may think about it and it sounds kind of like a lot of money, but there's really no other SUVs that are like this out right now that comes with the third row, and it's still a truck-based SUV. I know there's going to be some new ones coming out soon, like the new full-size Bronco's coming out, and I know the Wrangler's out, but honestly, there are really no others. And the closest competitor to this Toyota is like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or a Jeep Wrangler, kind of both. So really, as of right now though, there's not really any old school truck-based SUVs like the particular one here. So, and then take it out for a nice little drive. Welcome to the backseat of the 2021 Toyota 4Runner. It's actually really nice back here. My size 15 shoes fit nicely under the seat. I got lots of knee room, lots of shoulder room. You have your USB, if I can keep it open, USB charge ports down there at the bottom. You got your auto up and down, window switches there. You got your old blank handles. You got your typical dry cleaning hanger there. You know, the seats are really comfortable, and they also recline too. So like if I pull this little button here, I can lean this thing back, and it's super comfortable. I'm actually really impressed with the back seat space of this Toyota 4Runner. You know, it has the same quality as the front, where it has a little bit of soft touch material there, and then the rest of it is kind of cheap plastic, but you know, that's actually fine. And then here's a view from the back of what the cockpit looks like. All right, let's take a look at what the third row is like, but I'm not gonna get back there. All right, let's take a look. So to get the seat up, you just pull this handle, and it slides up, and then there you go. And that's the third row of the 4Runner. And it looks really small back here. This is one of those third rows that is kind of only here when you're kind of in a pinch. But, you know, it's nice that it's available on this one. All right, let's get on the road, see how this thing drives. All right, so let's go ahead and put it into the sport shift mode for this truck and see what this thing's about. Oh, nice, another shift for you. All right, so welcome to the driving portion of the 2021 Toyota 4Runner. And the first thing that I noticed when kind of getting on the road is, you know, for the old V6 that this is, this old 4-liter, it's actually not that bad on acceleration. Like, yes, it has an awful 0 to 60 time, but a truck like this, you should not be worried about the 0 to 60 time. This is off-road. This is the truck-based SUV, and you should be buying this one to drag race anybody. So it's a decent amount of power. So sitting here in the driver's seat, actually the 4Runner has a pretty decent amount of visibility. These side windows are pretty big. They're actually like they remind me of like the size of like a window of like a coupe would be. So they're like pretty big and pretty, and like, you know, you sit up nice and high, you can see over the dash, you can see the corners of the truck. The mirrors are pretty good size. You do not have blind spot monitoring on this one. You can get it as an option, but this particular one doesn't have it, so you got to stick to turn around and check your blind spots the old-fashioned way. And you know, with this kind of being an old school truck, the blind spots are not too bad at all, but you of course got to move around to kind of get the right spot to see into your blind spot. So go around a corner here, got to slow way down. This suspension on the 4Runner is pretty soft and squishy because this is an off-road based SUV, and going around the corners is not very fun, to be honest with you. I mean, it goes around the corner okay, but it's not like a sports car or anything like that, or even like a road based like SUV. So not even, I would say, okay, not road based, but more like road focused SUV. So, you know, going around corners is not fun like going around corners in like any other like car-based SUV nowadays. So, a couple things with the interior. The interior looks pretty nice. We talked about that in the walk-around portion, but I like the steering wheel. I like the way the steering wheel feels in your hands. It has these nice little grips. That's pretty nice. It has the stitching on the inside, but the steering wheel is kind of big. To be honest with you, I think it could be a little bit smaller and get the same job done. But I like all the simple, old school Toyota controls and everything in this vehicle. The gauges look nice. The newer dashboard looks really nice. But overall, for what this truck, for the interior of this truck, is not that bad at all for what it is. So, suspension is actually pretty comfortable. So like, I mean, I just talked about it being soft and squishy, but it actually is pretty comfortable. Having all that wheel travel and ride height makes this thing ride really nicely. So like when you go over bumps, it's not really stiff or anything like that. It gets a little like little bouncy sometimes, but it's not uncomfortable. So kind of what are some standout things for this vehicle? Honestly, the standout thing for this vehicle would be off-road, but I can't really take this one off-road. So let's talk about the standout things in the road. Honestly, for how old this truck is, the road noise isn't horrible. Like, it does have some road noise like you expect in an old truck like this, but it is not that bad. Steering feels pretty nicely. Steering feels pretty nice. You know, it's a truck, so pretty decent for that. You know, it drives like just an old school truck, and if you like that type of thing and you want to buy a new vehicle, this is definitely a good vehicle for you, because honestly, I can even honestly say even Wranglers don't drive like this now. Wranglers they've tightened Wranglers up a little bit to make them a little bit more stiff and less like kind of rolly, even like the Rubicons. And if you like the way like an old truck drives and feels, this is a good SUV for you. Some of the things I don't like has to do with the fact that this is an older school truck-based SUV. So when I go around corners and there's bumps, it kind of upsets the chassis of the vehicle. It kind of starts getting bouncy and getting kind of sketchy, and that's why I'm saying that, like, you know, going around corners is not fun in this vehicle, because it's not meant for that. But you know, it's okay. You're buying a 4Runner because you want a 4Runner. Like I was saying, like I talk about, you know, I haven't reviewed a new Jeep on my channel. I've attempted to review 2 Jeep Wranglers, a Wrangler and a Gladiator, but